Good morning, my darlings. Today is Thursday, April 23rd. I'm thinking about you today and I miss you. I'm so glad you're here watching my video, and I really want to stress to you the importance of watching it every day. It would be great if it could be the first thing you do in the morning. Just get up, and when you're ready to start your learning, first thing you do is go on my playlist and find my video. If you can't get to it right away, just get to it as soon as you can. And I know some of these videos can get a little bit long, but think about if we were together during the school day all day. Mrs. Mickelson would have a lot of things to say and a lot of things to teach you, and you'd be listening to me for a long time. And the best part would be I'd be able to have that interaction with you, and you'd be responding to what I have to say, and we'd have some great conversations together, and I really miss that. But the best we can do right now is to work together to make this distance learning as best as it can be. So your part needs to be tuning in to this video every day. So please try to do that each day. I've been trying each day to make them something that you would enjoy and something that you can learn from. So please make sure you do that every day. I also want you to make sure that every day you go on Seesaw, because I have put the Lions at Lunchtime work activity on Seesaw each day. It's the same thing that the Matrix says. For example, if the Matrix says to do pages 3 and 4 in your packet, that's what I put on Seesaw. I took a picture of pages 3 and 4, and I reminded you of the directions on Seesaw. So that's an easy way for you to upload it so that it'll come back to me and I can see your fabulous work. So please remember to do that. I thought maybe it'd be fun if I told you a few jokes today. I wish I could hear your laughter, but hopefully you're laughing when you hear these. Okay, the first one is for Kane. Which side of a chicken has the most feathers? The outside. I hope Kane liked that one. What do you call a sick alligator? An illigator. Do you get it? Because it's ill. So it's an illigator instead of an alligator. Here's one more. Why does a mother kangaroo hope it doesn't rain? Because then all her babies have to play inside. You get it? Because they're all in her pouch and they're playing. That would be kind of tough for a kangaroo, wouldn't it? Well, today we are going to read the next chapter in Lions at Lunchtime. So you can pause the video now and go get your book, and we will read together. Here we are, ready to read chapter 4. If you have a book, go ahead and get it. And when we left off yesterday, we called the end of chapter 3 a cliffhanger because it kept you wondering what would happen next. Remember, Annie was calling for help. Chapter 4 is called Mud Bath. Jack looked over the edge of the river bank. Annie had fallen into a pool of mud near the water. The thick black mud was up to her chest. "I slipped," she said. "It feels like quicksand." Jack threw down his pack and got on his knees. "Be careful, Annie. Don't slip, too." Jack pointed to a tangle of old tree roots sticking out of the bank. "Grab those," he said. Annie reached for the roots. "Too far," she said, breathing hard. "I'm sinking." She was sinking. The mud was up to her neck. "Hold on!" Jack looked around wildly. He saw a fallen tree branch near the bank. He raced to it, picked it up, and carried it back to Annie. Only her head and arms stuck out of the mud now. Jack held out the branch. Annie grabbed it. "Hold tight," said Jack. "I'll drag you over to the roots." He started pulling on the branch. "I'm still sinking," Annie wailed. The mud was up to her chin. "Come on," said Jack. "You can do it. I know you can. Try, try." Just then Jack heard a splash. He looked up. On the other side of the wide river, a wildebeest had jumped into the water. Another jumped, then another. They were headed right toward Jack and Annie. "Hold on tight," said Jack. He pulled on the stick again. Annie moved a tiny bit. "Hey, Jack, on the moon it felt like I weighed 10 pounds, said Annie, "and in this mud I feel like I weigh a ton." Do you know how much a ton is, second grade? It's 2,000 pounds. "Concentrate, Annie," said Jack, trying not to slip down the bank. "I am." The lead wildebeests were halfway across, swimming toward them. Many more wildebeests were jumping into the water. "It's now or never," said Jack. He took a deep breath. He pulled really hard. Just then a shadow passed over them. Jack looked up. "Uh-oh," he said. A huge vulture circled overhead. "It thinks you're near the end," said Jack. "Oh, get out of here," Annie shouted at the vulture. "I'm fine." In a burst of fury, she let go of the branch. She lunged for the rocks. She grabbed them. "Yes," cried Jack. "Pull! Pull!" Slowly, Annie pulled herself out. She was covered with the black mud from head to toe. Jack helped her onto the bank, getting mud all over himself. Here's the picture. "See?" Annie shook her fist at the vulture. "I'm fine. Now beat it." But the giant ugly bird still circled. "Come on, let's get away from him," said Jack. He pushed his glasses into place. "Rats," he said. Now his glasses were muddy. He tried to clean his hands in the grass. "Oh, no," shouted Annie. Jack turned to her. "The wildebeest will get stuck in the mud hole," she cried. She waved her arms at the wildebeest struggling to swim across the river. "Not here," she shouted. "Not here." But the frantic swimmers kept coming. Now, do you understand why she is telling the wildebeest, "Not here, not here"? She doesn't want them to get stuck in the mud just like she did. And I know that was short, but that is the end of chapter 4. So if you look on your matrix today, remember we look at this every day, it says that after we read chapter 4, you need to complete pages 6 and 7 in your reading packet. So I will show those to you now. Pages 6 and 7 are about character traits. Now remember we talked a lot about character traits in school. The directions say, as you read, think about Annie. What words would best describe her appearance? That's what she looks like. Actions, thoughts, and feelings. Use the bubble map below to describe Annie. So there's Annie in the middle, and I see 7 bubbles that you can fill in with 7 different words to describe Annie. So I want you to think about the things she has done. Think about what she looks like. Think about her actions. Think about her personality, her thoughts, and fill in those circles. Then on the other side, the directions are the same, but this time it is all about Jack. So you're going to do the same thing for Jack. So think about all of his character traits and the words that describe him. And then remember that I have put this activity on Seesaw. So you can go to that activity and you can respond by taking the picture, 2 pictures, one picture of this side and a picture of this side, to show me your work. I can't wait to see your work. Now it's time for math. First thing we need to do is look at the one problem you had to do yesterday. It was pretty easy. You were to take the data from this tally chart and make a bar graph. So yours should match mine. And then you were to talk to a parent or someone in your family about how bar graphs are different than picture graphs. And maybe you said something about how it uses a bar to represent data and a picture graph uses a picture. Maybe you said something about how the taller the bar, the more there are. So today, we will look at our matrix again for Thursday for math. Do independent practice numbers 2 through 6 on pages 551 to 552 in your math packet. So I have found that page. I'll go over the directions. They've given you a tally chart. You need to complete the tally chart and then use the data in this tally chart to make a bar graph. Remember, if you have crayons, make each bar a different color. Here is another exercise for you to do. Same directions. Take the information from the tally chart, make a bar graph. Then we have our brain builders on the back. Alyssa took a survey to find which juice pop flavor 15 friends like. Remember, 15 friends. 6 voted for cherry, 5 voted for grape, 2 voted for orange. Now that's not 15 yet. So you have to figure out how many more votes need to make 15. The rest of her friends voted for lime. So fill in that bar graph to match that data. Number 5. Luke took a survey of 18 friends to find their favorite soup. 4 voted for chicken soup. 6 voted for vegetable. The same number voted for tomato and noodle. So we know, think of what we know. We know 4 for chicken, so you'll make your bar. Remember, you might want to put the dots first so we don't accidentally color a box we didn't mean to color. Your 6 for vegetable, then that's only 6 and 4. That's only 10. And you need to have 18. So that gives you an idea of how many votes to put for tomato and noodle. But remember, those have to be the same number. So think about that. I know you can do it. And here is number 6. Now I want you to think about this one. Suppose each square in the favorite soup graph above was worth 2 votes. So each square, what if each square was 2 votes? How would this bar graph change? So you just use some words to tell how the bar graph would be different. So that's your math and reading for today. Remember, you have some good may-do activities on your matrix as well. And remember to read for 20 minutes today too. And I will be back tomorrow. Have a wonderful Thursday.